Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the North American opening triple header, aka the American Revolution of the Transatlantic Splatoon League. My name is Kbot. You're on my Twitch channel. I'm joined by the one and only Splatoon Lily for our third and final match of the night. It's FTWin versus Sayonara. And Sayonara, coming off the momentum of that 5-3 victory over Slaughterhouse, we'll see if they can put up a test to FTWin.
Hey, Kbot, I'm gonna need you to dial it down a little.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to our late night Splatoon hour. We're gonna be doing all of our commentary this evening from here on in a low, soft, soothing voice to help you all wind down from the high pressure stakes of the past couple matches. We're just gonna take it nice and easy.
Okay.
No?
I mean, I will make no promises, folks. Especially if the set gets really close. Like, there's no way you're gonna be able to contain me. Like, let's just be real with ourselves here. We'll have to see where the set takes us, of course. But the other interesting thing is this time around, we actually are getting a completely new set of neutral maps for this match, because this is our first official Week 2 match. So that'll be fun. Completely new set of maps. No more 100-0 knockouts for Europe in Tower Control and Starfish main stage. No more 100-0 randomness happening on something else. I don't know what that something else is. No more super stally games on Clam Blitzing Blood Art Academy. It's time for a completely new set of maps, and instead we're starting it off right with Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's only one Clambless map, but I'd be wrong. There's actually two, which is good. And we also have 3 Rainmaker maps this set, 2 picked by FTWin, which is interesting to see. All right, FTWin, I see you. Aside from that, the only, I mean, real map I could see going 100-0 is Zone's Inkblot, but I guess Rainmaker Humpback as well. Aside from those two, though, things are fairly smooth, I think, for this set. And Sayonara, all warmed up from their previous one.
Lily,
it's gonna be good. What?
You literally said things were going fairly smooth.
Oh, did something
someone
not go smooth?
disconnected from the lobby.
Nice. That's what we like to see here. That kind of really good irony. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Why don't you give us a little bit more back there on FTWin, the team that probably doesn't need much introduction, but we might as well give it anyway.
Oh, I mean, you mean like the 7 times ARMS winners for Splatoon 2 are here yet again to win yet another copy of ARMS. We're very excited for them. So just in case you didn't know, that I do believe there's a prize pool at the very end of all of this, and if FTWin comes out on top after all of this round robin at the beginning, after they go to bracket, if they come out on top, the prize pool is actually changing to a copy of ARMS for all of the players.
That would actually be really
just for FTWin.
That would actually be really funny.
Just for them. Everyone else gets the proper prize pool. FTWin is going to win a copy of ARMS each. We're very excited for them. But aside from that, if you don't know FTWin at this point, I mean, introduction to the Splatoon community, FTWin has won just about every tournament they've ever entered, and we're very proud of them, and also a little bit terrified. So, is today the day, I guess? Sayonara is all warmed up from their match against Slaughterhouse, and they're going to be able to put up a really good fight against FTWin. We're going to have to wait and see. At the very least, fingers crossed for Game 9. I'm going to call it Game 9 at some point.
For Game 9. You're calling it a Game 9 again?
I would love to, yeah. Let's go.
Oh my god, I'm just getting the password wrong twice in a row. What is this? It's that time of night, folks. It is.
My money's also on FTWin, so like again, my PayPal, DM me on Discord. I'll head you my PayPal information. You can just go ahead and send me money right now, and even if I lose the bet, I'll just keep the money. I appreciate that. Thanks for the early birthday gift. Many thanks, everybody.
Right then.
Kbot's hoping for a quick set so he can do some homework, and I'm hoping for a long set so that I can avoid some work. So one of us will win?
That's also valid, yeah.
We'll have to see how it goes, I guess.
We will see how it goes. I will say, I think my prediction, I put down 5-1 in favor of FTWin. FTWin historically FTWin historically has been dominant. Like, that's to put it bluntly, right? One of the last times these two teams played, I mean, FTWin and Sayonara have also had a rather large history with one another. Perhaps most memorably for a lot of people at Genesis 7. Now, granted, that was two different people on the Sayonara roster, and as a matter of fact, that was Tune In, or that was FTWin's core roster. Tonight they'll be playing without Shaq with Bursty, so it'll be Kyo, Tune, Biscuit. So Biscuit wasn't even on the Genesis roster, and Bursty will be joining them as well. I don't even know if I said someone twice there or what. But we'll see exactly, so these teams have had that history with one another, right? It's typically always been FTWin coming in clutch in order to seal a deal. But Sayonara has always had that hunger to try to throw off the Kings, right? In FTWin. So we'll see if they can do it tonight. Of course, it'll be their only time in TASL potentially where they could do it, unless these teams meet each other in finals, which would be kind of weird given or perhaps a little bit more unlikely given the caliber of teams that we have in this league overall. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to kind of see exactly how this one shakes out and how much of that thirst can actually come through in this set.
And like we said, Sayonara is fully warmed up from a really intense set just way against Slaughterhouse. Are they going to be able to adjust to fighting against a team like Slaughterhouse that plays a little bit more defensively and a little bit more careful, to being able to transfer those wins over to a team like FTWin that is just, overall a powerhouse, but also just incredibly aggressive? We're going to have to see how that goes.
And, you say FTWin's probably one of the teams that can match Sayonara's aggression and do it very well, right? Sayonara is often considered one of the most aggressive teams when they're playing everything top-notch, right? Now, granted, tonight, perhaps they don't have the exact roster they would have liked. DJ is actually out on vacation. So, they don't have that right now. But it'll be interesting to see if maybe this roster can lock things up for them. And with the addition of Wally as well, maybe they'll be able to come through. Maybe they won't. We are currently waiting on... I actually don't know who this is. It's either Wally or Key. I never actually found out who was who.
Wally was playing Junior, so I think the X name was Key. I don't remember.
So Wally's the one that's out right now. But yeah, we'll have to see. Of course, as previously mentioned, everybody, or you can see the results on your screen for previous matches tonight. And if you want to stay up to date on future matches that are going to be coming your way, be sure to follow the Transatlantic Splatoon League on Twitter at TASL_SPL. You'll find the schedule for the week in the pinned tweet most of the time. And we also do a lot of other fun stuff over there. Like we've got our core talent doing predictions and a little game with that you are welcome to play along with us and tally up your own score just for fun. And we also have other memes and stuff whenever I decide to, make some good content over there. So we'll see exactly what comes of that, but be sure to follow that account if you're looking for updates. It is not always going to be on my Twitch channel. Sometimes it's on Nija's Twitch channel. There might be times where it'll be on like Nine's Twitch channel and things like that. So make sure you stay in the loop there by following the TASL account on Twitter. Of course, if you miss any of the action, including the previous two sets tonight, you will be able to find it on the Transatlantic Splatoon League YouTube channel. Of course, you can Google Transatlantic Splatoon League or search it in the YouTube box. Or you can also go to tinyurl.com/tassel-yt. So there was my little plug and spiel because I've got nothing better to stall for as we continue to wait to load into this match. What is it with all this waiting tonight, fellas? Come on now.
How you doing, Kbot?
I'm doing all right.
How's life?
It's all right. I'm glad I'm to be in my happy place of sitting here and watching some fantastic Splatoon. And
yeah,
it's even nicer to be joined by someone the likes of you.
I was gonna say it's unfortunate that I'm here ruining your happy zone.
No, I wouldn't have been. Come on, I invited you here.
That's
you here.
That's
so
true.
Even if that was the case, I would have brought it upon myself.
That's true, which I think means that you've given me permission to tell jokes. I'm pretty sure just by inviting me here, that's implicit permission. Explicit permission? It's just permission to tell jokes.
I don't know about that one.
I'm pretty sure. And I mean, this game is taking a little while, and I guess for anyone who is supposed to be in the lobby who isn't and wants to save Kbot's sanity, every minute you take to get in the lobby is another joke I tell. So. Hey,
taking a sip of
Kbot.
water, and guess what happened? Right after you got done saying that sentence.
Someone got in the lobby?
They got in the lobby.
Nice. So I'm telling a joke anyway. Did you know somebody
you
stole my Microsoft Office? And they're gonna pay. You have my word. Did you get a Kbot?
To be fair, Word is also like an actually expensive program that you do have to pay for in a lot of cases.
Kbot, you can't just explain. Kbot, you can't
have
just
you
like
met me?
poop
Have
on
you
my
met
joke
me?
like that.
Did you actually expect something different?
Hey players, can we start the lobby so Kbot can stop pooping on my jokes?
Clamlet Snapper Canal, everybody. We've seen Snapper Canal once before, and it's one of those maps that pushes can happen very easily on, right? On the whole here, given the grand scheme of things, given the fact that, you know, you're able to find at least some claims probably somewhere on the map, right? And in, you know, these two kind of side areas that oftentimes can very easily be controlled by one or two people on your team by just kind of sending them over there. So we'll have to see exactly, you know, how these teams play around those kind of side areas of the map, how they decide to actually make those pushes happen as well. And I'm just trying to, like, get into my serious tone so that we can, like, expect that the set's going to start. But instead, these players are taking forever. I think Sun's... maybe they're stalling even more so that Sun can do his homework while this is happening. But I hope he realizes that, like, he can do his homework after the set is over and not be distracted by Splatoon. Like, I don't get the logic there. But
maybe they're discussing strats. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe
okay, come on, really? We've seen,
okay, hang on.
We've seen one look from Sayonara that works. You put it on the 96, and, like, other than that, is there really anything different that you do? Like, come on.
All right,
so
maybe they're sharing some really choice memes in their team chat.
I don't know what's going on, but I do know is that we are finally into the game. It's game 1 between FTWin and Sayonara in the North American Transatlantic Splatoon League Week 2 activity. Let's hop right on into it.
Some fairly standard conflicts. I want the double zap, I guess, isn't... It's more strange now than it is strange in general, you know? Like, we just don't see it very often anymore, so...
I will say... if it's one team that we should have expected to do it, would have been FTWin playing with hypothetically 2 support players, right? You've got Bursty and Toon that are on the roster right now, or their core roster right now, as Shaq is MIA. So probably what we expected. We'll see exactly which one of them is going to be a little more aggressive, which one of them is going to be a little bit more passive. But already it's Sayonara that is going to be the aggressors, taking the complete wipe to FTWin and getting a power clam in the basket all to their own. They're looking for a little bit more in addition, and they're actually going to get a sizable push out of this, going down to 59. Bagel's going to try to get a few more with this Inkjet, but is going to go down for it. Sun is trying to find a couple more as well, but down to the 50-point mark is the opening push for Sayonara.
I mean, a beautiful push to see, especially in the first minute of the game. It's just a really nice wipe and a really nice coordinated push there at the end. It's great. We're going to have to see if they can maintain that. There's still, like I said, 4 minutes left in this game, which is going to make things really difficult to hold, especially against a team like FTWin.
Certainly going to be difficult. Now look at all this ink pressure. Look at the Booyah Bomb causing a little bit more confusion as well for FTWin. Toon's trying to throw in a couple more claims to the basket, but it's a 2-down situation for FTWin. Biscuit's the last one alive and is so far away from the basket that it's going to be Sayonara maintaining their control of the lead for now. They're going to be able to continue chipping away at this as we get further and further as these exchanges start to speed up.
Absolutely, already picking up that pity clam and moving on up. This is going to be a fast-paced game if what we've seen so far is anything to go by. Just trying to decide which way they want to push, I guess. So many options.
I don't know what exactly happened there, but finally that member goes down. It's the 3-down situation for FTWin, and Sayonara is going to get a push their own once more. Power clam in the basket, a little bit more follow-up coming in from Key. Bagel once again in the Inkjet to try to zone some of these times FTWin away, but they're currently respawning, so perhaps a little bit unfortunate timing, and now FTWin pushing that front on forward, getting the wipe onto Sayonara, but once again, down to that 34-point mark, and Sayonara is just continuing to get closer and closer to that 0-point mark.
Biscuit, what was that? I'm sorry, just watching Biscuit pick up the power clam and then toss it down immediately. I guess it got picked up, so no problem. It was just a little strange. Moving on in already to another push, even though we don't have a whole lot of clams up on the side of FTWin.
FTWin is a peak right now back at the basket that they should run back and grab. Kyo's going to try to stall things out for a little while longer, and meanwhile, it's a complete wipe onto Sayonara, where Kyo can just continue aggressing a little bit with this K-Pro. The 1-for-1 trade is going to go for Sun here, but it almost doesn't even matter. It's going to be FTWin able to find the lead off of this, and here comes the power clam jump into the basket. Biscuit will connect, and that's going to be the last two clams, followed up by 2D, and FTWin takes game 1.
That game felt a little bit like just okay, we're done playing now. You know, they just hit a point in the game where they're like, that was fun, we're done. That's it.
Very true.
So pretty balanced Ks coming out from both teams. Same with specials. It felt fairly balanced all the way through. It just felt like FTWin got the upper hand there at the end and just closed it off. So
yeah, completely agree. I mean, it was just like, nah, we're not gonna play this one anymore. Like, we'll see you guys in the next match. We're just gonna. We're
tired of this now. Next one. Next.
Yep. Next.
Waiter, you can take this map away now. We're finished with this round.
Finished with the round. And FTWin goes up 1-0. Now they go to their own pick of Rainmaker on the Reef. But, I mean, maybe we'll see something come out of Sayonara here. Did they lose on the Reef last match? I don't even remember. Man.
I believe we played it twice, and they lost tower control but won zones?
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't know. Maybe that sounds right. Probably a 1-for-1, but in any event, see if Sayonara can swing this one back around. Rainmaker on the Reef is FTWin's pick. We're hopping right on into it. No more waiting for that 90-second timer to go down. Very similar compositions coming out from both these teams, and indeed the double zap is maintained by FTWin.
Yet again, I mean, pretty much the exact same comps, moving into a really fast-paced map mode. These teams are pretty much just matching aggression for aggression, and whoever gets the upper hand first is going to get the advantage, honestly. It's, especially on a map as small as this one, once you actually get pushing.
Look at this. The cap goes back the other direction, or it should see. Oh my gosh. Biscuit finds the Inkjet pick to completely shut down that push. It's a 3-down situation already for Sayonara, extending a little bit too far forward. Biscuit pops up. They're going to hop on this box and continue pushing forward for FTWin. 2D now met on the left side by Sun, and it's going to get taken down nonetheless, but down to 37. Getting that bonk of the box. It's going to be pretty big here for FTWin early in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that said, like, it's not going to take a whole lot more to get the lead off of this one. 37 isn't that safe on this map. They're going to need to push that a little bit further, but there's still 4 minutes left in this game. This could go either way.
Could certainly go either way, and Sayonara going to let the Rainmaker reset as they maintain control, or pick up control, I should say, of mid. They're just going to go ahead and immediately pick this one up, back up a little bit, try to get a couple more picks. Key goes down, though, and perhaps a little bit of an extension to a suction bomb. Maybe just didn't even see that there. Honestly, I didn't even see it there, and we'll see if FTWin can kind of stall this push out on the bridge, which seems to be exactly what they're doing. Sun goes down as well, and now Biscuit's got the Inkjet flying up high in the sky. Toon sweeps in for that pick onto the Rainmaker. Beautifully played here by FTWin.
Absolutely beautiful defense here in mid, and they're already back in position to start another push going. This is no problem at all. I mean, you get 2 fast-playing comps against each other, and very little defense to be seen, unfortunately, is the downside to that, but it makes for some action-packed games.
Trying to push a little bit further forward, perhaps just forcing that into the opponent's space so they have a little bit further to swim. Is FTWin there, and now it's Sayonara picking it up. They're going to look for these picks with the 10 missiles as well, and once more, we'll see if Bagel now has the opportunity to pop that Inkjet. We'll see if Bagel can come up with something big for Sayonara, but we're noticing that actually perhaps a little bit of miscommunication. The Rainmaker caught out alone underneath, or on top of the bridge. It is going to get picked up by FTWin. It's a 3-down situation. They pick apart Sayonara once again, and now about halfway through this game, FTWin has just looked in complete control of the entire map.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just looked like the Rainmaker wasn't quite on the same page as the other players trying to push through that close, but now we see FTWin playing that same reverse strat on the people who tried to just pull it, so...
Well, actually, no, I'll tell you what this is. The Rainmaker can stall for a lot more time over there on that side where it's very closed off. And so as long as you're applying pressure on other areas of the map, FTWin is just trying to buy a little bit more time for themselves so that they try to stall for a little bit more viable. But we've seen Sayonara pop off with some massive pushes. We'll see if they can do it once more here. Yo, actually going to be able to find that onto the Inkjet. 2-down situation for FTWin. Sayonara is going to have an opportunity to pick up the Rainmaker, get a little bit more map control once again, but it's all going to come down to whether or not they can find the push necessary to get it down to 36, because they haven't been able to find that so far this game.
And it already looks like Sayonara is just allowing a Rainmaker reset. I'm not entirely sure I love that play, especially against some fast-playing teams, but I mean, we'll see if that benefits them, if they can get a few more picks before moving forward. Kyo going down, unfortunately, to Sun, and that bomb stalling the jump just a little bit longer.
Trying to push over this box, but there's so much paint coverage coming out of FTWin composition right now. Bursty goes down, though, and the Rainmaker is going to get picked down by, I believe that was a Fizzy Bomb. Getting taken down. Kyo on the back lines is going to get taken down as well. Sun trying to pop this Rainmaker, but I don't know where the rest of Sayonara is. Y'all should be helping this one out. Sun going to have the 10 missiles, and some of these are going to come on through for Sayonara, but they're still having trouble getting on top of this box. Sun picks up the Rainmaker and get it down to 49, but is immediately met with some yellow ink from FTWin, and Biscuit with the Inkjet is just going to be able to stall for a little bit more time here as well. FTWin has the squid advantage on the map, and they're just going to continue stalling for a little bit more time.
Yeah, I mean, redirecting it to the ramps there wasn't the worst plan, but unfortunately that does put the Rainmaker in the hands of FTWin, who looks like they're just gonna pick it up and stall it. I'm not entirely sure what they went down to there on the left-hand side, but it's, I mean, not the worst place to stall. They die there, they just kind of leave it. It sits there unless they can get up through, and if this offensive line here holds on the sense of FTWin, there's not much that a Sayonara can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, really, what can you do right now if you're Sayonara? Like, there's so little right now, and it looks like, you know, again, given that little bit of an elevation change, you see he's just trying to throw these bombs to try to pop the Rainmaker to get something done. Bagel has the Inkjet to go up in the sky. Is going to be able to find one, but it's 1 or 2 for 2 actually overall in that fight. Bagel trying to pop this Rainmaker. That's going to force overtime for perhaps a little bit of time, but all FTWin needs to do is just go on back over to the swing to that Rainmaker. They're locking down this area of the map so well and stall for time. FTWin goes up 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the only chance Sayonara had there was that the Rainmaker was in a Rainmaker-free zone. If they had popped it, and it would have reset back to mid, allowing them another chance for a push. I mean, FTWin, obviously, knowing that, kept it pretty well yellow, and just didn't allow them the opportunity to pop it like they wanted to until it was too late.
1 or 2 perhaps misplays coming out of Sayonara in that last game, but not all is lost yet. I mean, now we're going to their own pick of Clamblitz on Piranha Pit. So that'll be interesting to see. Actually, looking at this set, we only see 2 Splat Zones maps picked in the entirety of the set, and one of them is a neutral map. So a lot of variety for those of you that have been asking where's the, you know, non-Splat Zones maps. There it is. This set. Apparently.
They're all right here. Yeah, all of them. Right, all of them are right here. Every other set from here on in throughout TASL will be zones only, but this set in particular, we've crammed all of the other modes in just for your enjoyment tonight.
Just so you're happy. And Lily,
exactly.
I mean, 2 Clamblitz games in the first 3 games that we're guaranteed to see. I mean, you got to be excited here.
Oh, always. I'm always excited to see clams. Now, the only way I would be happier is if it was all clams all the way down, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah. No way.
It feels like it's just been with like the last year or so that the competitive community has really been like, clams good? And I'm sitting here like, guys, thank you for getting on my page. I've been here since day 1, like throwing this book at people and no one's picked it up. So I'm just really glad to see clams at all played. I'm even more especially excited to see it guaranteed since it's in our first 3 games.
But I mean, the thing for me here is I think this is going to be a little bit different because we don't see looks out of either of these 2 teams that have a lot of utility. Say 10 umbrellas, say, you know, other things that push in. I mean, these teams really rely on the ink armor in order to get much of anything done, which is a tactic, sure, to get pushed in, but isn't necessarily like one of those things that always works for Clamblitz, right? So it's certainly going to be interesting to see, and even given the double armor composition right now that FTWin's going for, we'll see if they decide to stick to it as we load on to Piranha Pit. Should be a good one here. I hit the transition button twice.
It's really interesting. Like FTWin and Sayonara both are teams that seem to rely more on the fundamentals of just engagements and on aiming and on their own technical abilities, more so than relying on things like specials or things that might give them advantages in game. So this set, more than anything else we've seen tonight, is really a battle of fundamentals and technical ability.
But we say that, and Bursty actually switches over to the foil squeezer, opting for the bubbles, which is one of those, different ways to push in. As well, going for the midi splatling is Biscuit here, opting for a little bit more turf coverage as well, and that is the already complete wipe onto Sayonara. It's going to open the door wide open for FTWin to get plenty of claims in the basket, already down to 50, and now going back for more. Unfortunate that they gave up a little bit more claims, but perhaps they're just going to be content with this push. And actually, 2D stepping forward there. Ginny's able to find one now, is looking for a second or just zoning some members away with that, paint coverage. But 35 already for FTWin, man. That is the mark of a good team.
Honestly, it could have been a lot worse. This map and mode in particular is one where it's incredibly difficult to get a foothold back if you've wiped and the enemy team is pushing your basket. It's just so hard to get back down in there, and they did a really good job doing it. And they're already onto their next push, which on a map this large is a feat in and of itself, with 3 down on the side of FTWin.
3 down on the side of FTWin, only 2 up right now for Sayonara. Bagel's the one stalling for time around this basket, but is going to go down nonetheless, down to 68 for Sayonara, which is a good attempt at a strike here, but unfortunately just not going to be enough to match up with that 35-point push. They'll have to work through that penalty as well in order to get back down to that area. Now Kyo is going to be able to arc the shots on the Bagel and get that trade. It's 2 down for Sayonara once more, and FTWin potentially looking at making another push. They have another power claim at the ready as well. A firefight there as we AutoCam decides that Bagel's more interesting for whatever reason. Fizzy Bomb comes on out of FTWin as they continue building up a little bit more of an ink presence on this area of the map. And this is the part where we comment on, the Nautilus's painting power here, Lily.
I mean, it's absolutely intense. Nautilus paints so much more than people expect it to, especially when you're up against things like, say, a Slashin, which really can't paint for itself at all, and is the last up and up on FTWin. So this would be a great opportunity for Sayonara to get some paint and some clams control. They're going to need to take this a little bit more slowly. They didn't get a full wipe with enough of their players up to be able to start a push right away, but they have enough here to start at least a little bit of a counter, I guess.
Well, they were looking to try to do that, but it was completely shut down, or at least intimidated away, I guess, by FTWin. Kyo coming through with that one pick, and then the splash down to completely lock down mid. Now looking for a flank, potentially, and it's going to be even harder to get through from these inkjet shots on the rail. Now going back down to useless. I mean, Kyo's just flanking all over the place for FTWin. Now approaching Sayonara from behind. It is going to be Bursty going down here, but a power claim is picked up. We'll see if the jump comes in. Probably not going to be the best idea, or actually Biscuit's just going to go for it anyway. I mean, might as well, I guess, right? There's only 3 members down for Sayonara, and now finally Bagel makes another appearance. Kyo has a couple more claims. Here's a power claim jump in as well. That's in the basket, down to the 9-point mark, and FTWin is just going to be looking to close this out with a couple more claims in for Biscuit, and that is indeed going to be the game. FTWin right now sitting in a very convincing 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, the games have been fairly back and forth, but FTWin hasn't really given much ground. Sayonara's been able to show their skills here for sure, but FTWin is just still so dominant. It's a little bit daunting, honestly, to see some of these games.
But here's the thing, the firefights aren't even, that one-sided, right? It's not like FTWin is massively outslaying Sayonara.
Oh, yeah, no.
They're just playing the game overall as a better 4-squid unit, right? I mean,
they're just closing. Is this
right.
The thing? Sayonara is getting there, but not quite closing, and FTWin's just getting those wins.
Yeah, very true. And so FTWin, currently sitting at the 3-0 position, could see the 3rd set out of 5 matches in the Transatlantic Splatoon League end in a sweep. Now, the goal is, of course, me saying that it's going to be a sweep and therefore jinxing it, and so that Sayonara gets 1 game, so I go perfect on predictions on the night. That's the end goal, right?
Okay, so if we look at our next 3 games, assuming that Sayonara gets 1 of them, which one do you think Sayonara will get? I guess 2 games, because Sayonara has to get 1 before they hit 5.
Well, I would hope that Sayonara... Or actually, it has to be one of the next 2 games, yeah. And now you're in... This is one of the most punishing things of this format, is if you're Sayonara right now, your next pick doesn't come up till game 6. You have to face the next 2 maps. One of them's a neutral map. Splat Zone's Mako Mart is obviously a map that a lot of people enjoy, but then you have to go up against whatever FTWin throws at you, and they're throwing Tower Control Musselforge. I mean, we'll have to see, but FTWin often looks very strong on Tower Control. Could potentially even go for a lockout situation on Mako Mart, and that could very well be the end of the set.
Yeah, I guess the benefit for Sayonara is like Musselforge is a map where typically, especially TC Musselforge, where backliners have a little bit of an issue trying to find a good position. It's just one of those maps that's a little bit awkward in order to place yourself in a place that's, you know, effective and strong. So if there's a benefit here is that the next two maps, both of them, really do favor shorter range weapons. So we're gonna have to see, I guess, whether that makes a difference,
I don't
especially here.
know if it does, because FTWin's just matching them with the shorter weapons. And now actually we see the mini Splatling trade hands between Bagel and Biscuit. Bagel opting for it here on the Splat Zone to offer a little bit more paint, whereas, you know, perhaps that was offered a little bit last time for Biscuit to offer more paint on the map. But now, I mean, opting for that Inkjet as well, probably looking for the lockout situation, but we'll see if Sayonara can just put out the sheer amount of paint necessary. And it looks like with one member going down early, they're going to be forced to back away from this zone, and it's going to be an early cap over to FTWin. There's the Inkjet right on to targeting Bagel in the sights. Bagel's going to be able to escape for the time being. Ink Armor comes out, though, able to find one with a Burst Bomb. 2D picks up that one, but all the meanwhile, free down situation for Sayonara, and things are all of a sudden starting to look very scary in favor of FTWin.
And now we're seeing a downside to a little bit of a strat that Sayonara pulled at the beginning here. They painted a lot of their base on their way in before hitting to the zone at the very beginning, which, you know, to charge their specials for their first push, but unfortunately it leaves them a little bit less ground to charge their specials for their retake, which puts them in a bit of an awkward position here trying to get back into mid with 2D already with a bomb rush on zone.
Anyone down for Sayonara is absolutely massive in favor of FTWin, as now we're down to 28 ticks the time left to go. They're not going to be able to hold on to it, though, with Sayonara with the enhanced painting power, especially thanks to that mini Splatling, probably is able to take care of business there. Apply that penalty at the very least. One down for either side for the time being, and Biscuit trying to put as much paint on the zone for the Nautilus, but it's going to be forced to back away and play for this retake from FTWin. Here comes the Inkjet, though. There's the Ink Armor as well. Gets that one on them. Make it two, never mind. On to some of those members of Sayonara. FTWin retakes control of the zone, and once again, this team plays so beautifully.
It's just, it's flawless to watch them work with and around each other. Is just absolutely beautiful. We're starting to see now Sayonara coming back in, trying to get some paint, some specials out. The popping armor may be a little early for my taste, but this could be the take for zone. There's three down on the side of FTWin. This is their chance. They have to take it now.
Biscuit's the last one up for FTWin, and just kind of stuck on this other side, going to be forced to jump away. That is going to buy a little bit more time for Sayonara to try to charge up their specials, baby, and try to go for this, hold, but they're actually just getting completely steamrolled over. They gave away the zone to their opponents. It's going to be FTWin gladly taking that. Now Biscuit finding yet another, already at 6 at the halfway point in this game. Absolutely massive for the FTWin squad, and they're just going to continue trying to put out paint. They'll continue playing this game all night, Sayonara.
Yeah, so far what I'm seeing a lot of is Sayonara using a lot of their resources just to get back in and get the zone. So when it comes time for the retake from FTWin, they don't have a lot of those resources left to use, and it puts them in a really hard position for trying to maintain any kind of point control.
One down, though, for FTWin is going to mean the cap once more for Sayonara, applying that penalty once more. I keep saying this, but again, FTWin just going to come right back. Biscuit's going to go ahead and pop the Inkjet, and there it is indeed. Kyo steps forward, finds one. It's a two-down situation for Sayonara, and all of a sudden, the zone is yellow once more, or almost nearly. Actually, Kyo going to get taken down, and perhaps commentator's curse there, folks. Three-down situation for FTWin means Sayonara holds on to it, but can they hold on to it given the retake power that we've seen come out from FTWin?
We're already seeing almost a double missile charged and ready for Sayonara. Once FTWin starts moving back in is a perfect time to push these. Just a little bit of pressure to stop them from coming in as quickly as we know that FTWin can. They have 4 specials up and ready to go. Yep. This is scary.
All the specials collapsing right around the zone. FTWin wants to apply his penalty, and they find it. 2-down situation for Sayonara right now as Bagel's trying to approach from this right side. Can't really do much of anything, though, and it's now going to get swarmed by 3 members of FTWin and get immediately taken down. Once again, well played by FTWin, knowing their win conditions, knowing that they know exactly what areas of the zone to attack in order to paint and find the cap on the Sayonara. And now they're potentially even going for the knockout here, as we have just a couple ticks of the timer left to go. Sayonara really has to step forward and find this, but they don't have an Ink Armor at the ready. They don't even have an Inkjet at the ready in order to come through here. Suction Bomb Launcher is going to get popped, but now 4, 3, 2, 1. They might be able to stall this one out, but no, Sayonara won't find it, and FTWin takes another knockout victory.
That's just beautiful play from FTWin. Just, I don't know what else to say about that. It felt like while FTWin lost zone a few times, they were never fully kept away from it. They always could just take access whenever they wanted, and that's not necessarily on Sayonara. That's just how the game felt. Like it was always just kind of leaning in their favor, and Sayonara was really struggling to be able to hold that advantage anytime they got it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I think that FTWin, first of all, most likely I would say that FTWin probably wins a lot of 1v1s. Given the fact that a lot of these members, first of all, Sayonara, at this current iteration of the roster, actually hasn't been playing as much as we might normally expect them to be.
Yes.
And that's something that they've been very public about, and I'm sure we're going to see so many excuses come out. Oh, it shouldn't have been a 5-0, but guess what? This is the one time you get against the best team in your division, most likely, so you got to make it count, and if you can't pull out the upsets here, then you're probably not going to make playoffs, or at least there's that possibility that makes that, you know, match versus Starburst likely so much more important.
Yeah, I mean, another big note is just like Sayonara, well, FTWin in particular, we saw a lot of instances where they just swarmed a member of Sayonara and took them all down. And there was very rarely a case where we saw just one member of FTWin facing off against one member of Sayonara. It was almost always a 1.5 members minimum from FTWin. Just they do so well playing in and around each other. They leave nothing to chance. There's always someone there for backup.
Right. There's always someone there for backup, and even on these retake positions, I want to watch this overhead when it comes out in like 24 to 48 hours, and you're probably going to watch FTWin attack very specific parts of the zone, like especially that last cap, in order to attack very specific parts of the zone, in order to get that cap, in order to apply the penalty, and then that just kind of snowballed into the rest of the map control around mid that were able to then swarm to one or two members that were kind of, they identified as off position, and just completely pick apart Sayonara. They'll be looking to do that for one more time on tower control Musselforge Fitness. For Game 5, FTWin looking to answer some of the European teams with a sweep of their own here against Sayonara. We'll see if they can pull it off here as well. Kyo going to stick with the Tri-Slosher. Actually switching over to the Nouveau for this one in particular. What do you think about that pick, Lily?
Well, I mean, if you've already got a double armor, you don't necessarily need another one, so might as well pull out the rain, I guess.
Very true, but I mean, yeah, there's the armor actually coming on through. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, to your point, triple armor is a little overkill. Just maybe a little. You're already almost always armored anyway. When you have double armor, you probably don't need to be like literally always armored, but it is going to be FTWin taking a 3-down situation on Sayonara in order to get themselves most likely past this first checkpoint. You'll notice actually Kyo is actually in an engagement on the far right side. I don't know what member of Sayonara is over there, but let's focus around the tower, everybody. Here come the specials coming out of FTWin here as well in order to shut this down. It's already a 2-down situation for Sayonara, and now making a 3-down situation as FTWin approaches the second checkpoint.
What I'm finding that FTWin is doing really well is controlling players' movements. They push everyone towards a certain direction, and they know what direction players are going to move in reaction to that, and as a result, they can position themselves to appropriately deal with it. They're doing a really good job at traffic control.
Absolutely good job of traffic control, and I mean, again, look at this. They're just at the third checkpoint already. It seems like I zoned out for a moment. We're already nearly at the end of this game. So the Inkjet's going to come on through, and actually a bomb's going to be able to pick off 2. FTWin goes 3 down, 2D is going to be the last one to jump away, and finally, a semblance of defense for Sayonara, but all 3 checkpoints already exhausted.
Absolutely, and that's a really dangerous position for Sayonara to be in a minute and a half into the game, and FTWin's already burned through all 3 checkpoints. It doesn't give them a whole lot of room for error here. They need to play the rest of this game pretty much perfectly if they want to take it and at least prove Kbot's predictions correct.
Bagel. Oh, Bagel! Hang on, triple. Wait a minute. Gets the triple with the Inkjet there. That was like a flanking, sharking Inkjet. I don't know why that worked, but it was just not called out by anyone at FTWin. Although, meanwhile, someone goes down on tower for Sayonara, though I have no idea how that happened, but they might not even get past this first checkpoint. Jinny goes down to Kyo, and the last member alive for Sayonara is only on this far side. Sayonara, you had such a good opportunity and such a good window, and you completely lost it.
It's just really unfortunate. Kyo coming in clutch there and managed to stop the tower before it got too much further. And still getting a double here before going down to Sun. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane indeed. I mean, we've always known that Kyo's going to be one of those players that can just completely mess you up in a lot of ways. But, Lily, we're only halfway through this game, at least in terms of the timer, and there's only been one really good opportunity from Sayonara. It's going to need another heroic play coming in from someone like Bagel in order to bring themselves back from this one, but we'll see if they can come up with a heroic defense, which will lead to first 3 down for Sayonara, make that the delayed wipe, and FTWin going to push for the knockout.
And they're already through all their checkpoints, 15 points left to burn through. All the players back on Sayonara, but with this much firepower, that's probably game.
Yep, there it is. The bomb goes off just a little bit too late. No one's on the tower for Sayonara. And FTWin, 3rd sweep of the Transatlantic Splatoon League in their pockets. They go up 5-0 over Sayonara.
Yeah, absolutely impressive. Even without Shaq, they managed to just completely pull another sweep and maintain their crown for now. This absolutely probably the most dominant team in North America. I would say also in the West, and I look forward to seeing them play whatever that we're going to play next.
I mean, again, that's one heck of a statement. Especially after, Sayonara certainly at least isn't the last team in the league, right? At least in this division. They literally just came off of a win over Slaughterhouse. So, and this is something that I was kind of thinking about, was looking at the, skill disparity here. FTWin clearly showing themselves as the favorites. Even if you didn't think that already, you have to look at this set and you're like, yes. And by the way, that's not even to say that Sayonara played bad. Sure, they fumbled 1 or 2, misplays every now and again, but at the end of the day, they were just outclassed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it's not that Sayonara did poorly. It's just that FTWin did better.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll see if FTWin can keep up this string of dominance in the North American division, and it's going to be really interesting when it comes down to playoffs. Again, this is the Transatlantic Splatoon League. Of course, there are 5 teams in North America, 5 teams in Europe that play each other in round-robin league play. For top 2 from each division advance to playoffs in early December. If you're looking for more information about future matches, you can follow the Transatlantic Splatoon League Twitter account at TASL_SPL for more updates when these matches go live. Thank you all so much, by the way, for the support. I've seen a lot in the chat. It's absolutely fantastic to watch the amount of good messages that are coming in, whether that be from the official TASL account or from Twitch chat or whatever the case is here. Just absolute, thank you all so much for the support. It really does, validate the effort that some of us are starting to put into it, and validates the effort of these teams coming together to put on this league for our enjoyment. Lily, thank you as well for joining me for this long night. We started, 4 hours ago?
Something like that. 3 hours ago.
3 hours ago. It feels like 4 hours ago.
I mean, we had some real bangers in there, honestly.
We did. We definitely did.
A few years off my lifetime. So, everyone, thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Kbot, for inviting me to cast with it. It was a lot of fun. And everyone, if you continue to support Kbot as much as you have so far, we may see him cry by the end of this, and I really look forward to that. So, thank you.
I'm not much of a crying man. But we'll have to see.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. All right. Well, in any event, folks, that's going to do it from us for the night. Once more, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for the support, not only to my personal channel, but also for the Transatlantic Splatoon League in general. Meet us actually Saturday. I need to look up the actual time for that match because I forget off the top of my head. It's on the next slide that I'm about to show you. Saturday, October 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central European. It's Starburst versus Slaughterhouse. That'll be casted by Dragonuno and Ninja on Ninja's Twitch channel. That'll be our final match of the week. Thank you all so much for joining us here for week 2.
Before we go.
What?
Before we go. Also, make sure to tune in tomorrow for Talk Speed Up.
Very true.
For Kbot's amazing podcast, also hosted with Ninja. They're going to have Melissa, Acid Sunshine, as well as 9 Whole Grains on. So definitely tune into that. It's going to be a good show.
That'll be on Ninja's channel. Ninja_ in his own words. Whatever.
It'll be all over Twitter. It'll be all over Twitter.
He will probably be making a daily video for that one as well. But for the final time tonight, folks, thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you around in future TASL streams. For that, I, of course, have been Kbot. I've been joined by Lily. and have a fantastic night. We'll see you later this weekend.
Ciao.